Come on. We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Get in. Get in. 3 goals, 3 points. We will take it. Did it flatter us? We'll get into it. Do we give a shit? Nada. Nah. Hope everyone's well anyway. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. It's gone really quick this weekend. Dinner time kickoff. Not ideal, but I prefer 8 o'clock kickoffs. I prefer later kickoffs, to be honest, but I ain't going to lie. Waking up and having football pretty much straight away from getting out of bed were pretty exciting. But then it's been a bit of a whirlwind of a day since then. Just I can't focus on anything else. I'm just high as a kite. So the missus will be talking to me. It's going in one ear and out to other. I've been on a bit of a high since that local derby. 3 goals. Really, when you score late on like that, it felt a bit euphoric. After being a bit of a strange game, hanging on in definite spells in that game, but then to get 2 late goals, I thought all 3 goals were cracking today. I thought Wednesday did okay. They give it a good go. I'm going to give them a lot of credit on this stream. I know a lot of people weren't happy with Leeds' performance. I think sometimes you've just got to accept the opposition are sometimes going to turn up and do half decent against you, whether you're at home or not. And I think that's what Wednesday were like today. Credit to them. They didn't just sit back in a low block. They actually played football. It was nice to see a side come and, maybe that's because we scored early on. Maybe it's not, but, it was nice to see, a team actually come and attempt to play football, and they created a few half decent chances, I suppose, without really coming in out. But, yeah, we'll get into it. See some of these comments. Smash a like and subscribe, please. Yes, if you don't mind subscribing, if you're new here. I think I ain't far off 1,000 subscribers, which would be absolutely crazy to get there in the next couple of days. Hopefully, be lovely. But if not, I'll just keep going. I'm absolutely loving the journey. Appreciate everyone's support so far. It's been amazing. So, like I say, yeah, like and subscribe if you don't mind. It does mean a lot. And like I say, I'm really close to that massive milestone of 1,000, which would be incredible to do it soon. Let's get into it then, Michael Smith. You know me, I like to bring all comments up best I can, so let's get through it. I had Joe on last night, couldn't bring any comments up, as you probably know, but it was a great show. Really enjoyed having Joe on here, but tonight I can dive a bit more into chat than last time. So, Michael, hope you're well, mate. Even everyone, 3-0, and Tanaka uses the Jedi Force hand-eye coordination of Yoda. I love that. Well pleased. I'm a little worried about Norwich Wednesday, mainly because I want to win without any injuries. Yeah, I get that, mate. I don't think Norwich are going to offer as much, to be fair. I'll be doing a preview either tomorrow or Tuesday. I had too concerned about Norwich, I won't lie. I think the injuries have got a minute a massive. Borja Sainz being out as well, suspended. I'm usually bothered about Norwich, but I'll be honest, this time I'm not. I get what you mean with the injuries. You're talking Sunday, Wednesday, Monday, so you're talking 3 games in 8 days. It's a big feat, really, isn't it? So can we come through unscathed with no injuries? It's not the Leeds way, is it? We tend to pick one up, but yeah, I'm confident we've got enough for any eventuality, whether we get knocks or not, whether we sign people or not. We've seen today we didn't play at our best. I think we played well, to be fair. I don't think we were bad at all. I think we actually played all right. And we come out with a 3-0 win. So I say we played okay, not at our best, and come out 3-0 against Wednesday. It will come. Those percentiles, they're raised, 100% they're raised. It's like a cup final, and that's not being begetted. You all agree with that, I'm sure. As a Leeds fan, we know what they bring. Yorkshire derbies, they get up for it a lot more than we do. And to come out with a 3-0 win, regardless of performance, I'm buzzing with it. I can't lie. I'm actually buzzing. Michael says, I hope we progress in the FA Cup also and draw a Premiership side to practice on before we go up. Optimistic, Leeds. Yeah, it'd be brilliant, that, mate, wouldn't it? I can't deny that. I'd enjoy that as well. Get Millwall out of the way and get a decent Premier League tie at home. Andrew, hey up, mate. It'll be okay. Meslier made me nervous a few times today, but overall, just better job commanding the box and reacting to shots. Yeah, we'll get into Meslier, then we'll make a start. So the lineup, exactly as expected. Bar Meslier starting. I mean, did I expect Meslier to start? I really were on fence. Honestly, I were really on fence about Meslier starting. Obviously, I didn't want him to start. Did I think he were going to play Meslier? It were highly likely. I think the fact he had him on the bench, needlessly so, in the FA Cup, I didn't think he needed to be on bench. Sort of made me think, got me to around the thinking of if he's going to have him on bench in a FA Cup tie, shortly after that incident happened, it probably means he's not going to be too asked about sticking him on field either. For that FA Cup tie, I thought he should have been nowhere near stadium. He should have been sat at home with his feet up. He wasn't. He was there. So yeah, I sort of saw it coming. Did he have a good game? He didn't have much to do. 2 saves. One of them was just an easy catch. The other one got down to his right. I made that mistake of, in the stadium, come on, man, what a great save. And then you watch it back, and I did that reactive thing where it's like he's just made a save. It wasn't a worldly save. It was good, don't get me wrong. He went down to his right and tipped it round post. It was a good save. But sometimes he makes a save, and I lose my shit because it's like, oh my God. We saw the dramatic applause when he caught that first ball as well, you know, and it was like, yeah, I think he was expecting one of them, but he looked shaky. He did. But so did Darlow when he played in that game. Keepers do look shaky. I mean, their keeper had a good game, I thought, but you could say we're at fault for first goal, and he conceded 3. Yeah, he made some good saves. Did their keeper from Dan James, you know, to name a couple of his shots. But it's one of them as a keeper, isn't it? You know, you're going to have moments where you look shaky. If I'm honest, if I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan, if I'm a Sheffield Wednesday player, manager, you know, coach, I'm looking at thinking, we didn't play bad today at all. It probably wasn't a 3-0 game. I'm sure a lot would agree with that. But they didn't test him enough. They didn't test him if you got Barry Bannon, who was about 95 years of age, and he just didn't put the ball in. You know, they should have been putting that up in the air to back post all game, and they had enough opportunities. They were in out. They had decent spells there with plenty of possession, loads of opportunities to pepper us goal. And for me, they just didn't shoot enough. They didn't put the ball in the box enough. And that'll be probably what they'll be really disappointed about, because there were an opportunity there when that lineup came out now before kickoff. I'm pretty sure they'll be buzzing to see Mez in there. Evening, CB. Evening, Andrew. Thanks for all being here. Danny, smash a like, subscribe. Yes, please do. Like I say, I'm on the road to 1K. Hello, Lord Shigor. I hope you're well, my mate. Thanks for dropping in. Always appreciate the company. Adam, evening all. Perfect end of the way. Hey up, Adam, mate. I'll message you back after this. I forgot to message you back. Something come up. Thanks for being here, buddy. CB, Danny, all done. Evening, Matty and chat. Evening, as always. Chris, hope you're well. Sean, hope you're well, mate. Hands up, we predicted a 3-0. You'll see on I did a vlog today. I was really buzzing with that vlog as well. So I've done my usual stuff, you know, meeting Priestley, getting kids to sort of say the predictions, FaceTiming the missus and the kids for matching together. And then I don't really film the game, but I've started filming little parts, you know, like corners and set pieces. Although I missed the corner at the end, I didn't get my phone out for that one. But I got my phone out just when the attendance come on the board, just to sort of show attendance on video. And then we broke straight away. So I actually got the Ramazani goal on camera. So I'm actually fucking buzzing with that. And I absolutely lost my shit. Yeah, I was really pleased with that. But yeah, I said at half time on my vlog, I had a little video where I was speaking, you know, about my thoughts at half time, and I predicted 2-0 as a result. But then at half time, I changed my mind and I said I reckon we could get a couple more. And at half time, I said it'll be 3. So yeah, I was buzzing with that. We love you, Leeds. You know it, Sean. You know it. I've taught my kids well. I'm sure you'd all agree. I said 2-0. Yeah. Healy, MOT, Wayne, up you well, mate. Absolutely banging result. It is. Hey, I'll pass it, Paul, mate. Yeah, it's pal. You know, many years ago, performance wouldn't have mattered. It would not have mattered. It was a case of getting 3 points, you know. Now we want a bit of both. I feel like we got a bit of both. We got that 3-0 at home to Yorkshire rivals. It's a great return. You can't deny. If you're not playing well, you're coming out of a 3-0 result. What are we moaning about? And I've seen some. I'm fairly new to the Twitter scene, X scene, whatever you want. I'm well late to part. I don't really like it. I've seen a few bits, and there's some crazy takes out there. 3 points, that's all we wanted. 2, right? Andrew, Matty, mate. Back here again with you tonight. Thank you very much, Andrew. Much appreciated. Don't know why you're here with me, mate. Don't know why, but we'll take it. I'll take it. Much appreciated. Thank you. Darren Varley, evening, pal. Martin Cook. Matty, you always predicted 3-0. I always predict 3-0, Martin. Always. I actually said 2-0 on this one, but then I changed it at half time to 3-0. But I never predicted us to concede a goal at home. Never. I never see it happening. And I was right with that. But yeah, I always just fancy for a couple of goals at least. And you know what it is? I never want to say 1-0. Because if I said 1-0, I'd have been gutted when we scored after 4 minutes. I'd have been like, oh, you know, I'd rather predict 3 at least and more, and then get even more excited when it gets closer to it. It makes it more exciting. But yeah, I'll never probably predict less than a 2-0 as a minimum. Evening, Matty and chat. Evening, Sean. Wilco Whites. Please go over and check Wilco Whites out when you get a minute as well. He's going to be on my channel a lot coming up, so make him grow together. I don't think the score flattered us. You don't. I would disagree with that, Darren. I think probably 2 were probably Probably fair. And not that I give a shit. I'd give me 6. I'm not bothered. Yeah, I would say so. I've seen a lot of people say something similar as well. I just think because we scored after 3 minutes, Solomon. We scored 88 and 96. There's a massive gap there in middle where it were fairly even for durations. I thought they got the foot on the ball. I thought they controlled spells in the game. So I don't think they were the better side. I think we definitely deserved the win. It's a bit like in boxing, isn't it, where you get 3 judges all score it, and one might have it a little bit wider than the rest, and some might question it, but it doesn't really matter. The right team won, and I think we were fair for a couple of goals on that. But I do feel like there were maybe due a goal, or maybe a 2-0 might have been a bit better. But I think I couldn't give a shit if I'm honest. But I feel like they played well. I felt one and a half decent side, to be honest. Didn't sit back in the game and play football. Wasn't bad at all. Really good away from home on Wednesday. Great to hear Lordy and Danny, yeah. Let's get into this now. The hellos have happened. Adam, Wednesday are decent. We're 5th in the form table. Got a few decent players as well. Yeah, I thought they were really good. I thought they had a couple of really good players. Lad out on right played really well as well. I don't know the names. He played really well. I thought Shea Charles had a good game. Barry Barron looked lively. Not a bad side at all. We didn't play to our best, but it's sign of champions. I always say that, mate. Don't play your best, but come out with 3 points and win. A convincing win in terms of scoreline as well. Do you know what I mean? It's massive. It's massive. And that is a champion side, that, mate. Evening Jay, evening Nige. Our goal was beautiful. It was. We've seen a few people attempt in the season. Matteo Joseph, Patrick Bamford. It was nice to see one go in. And what can I say? We've got a midfielder that scores goals. We've got a midfielder that now scores goals. Unbelievable. Finally, we've got one. Lord Chigard after Wendy's for all their possession, hardly threatened anything and only forced most of it. Yeah, well, he made 2 saves technically. I've looked at stats and one of them was just a basic catch. The other one, yeah, he got down to his right. They played a lot. They had a lot of possession. I mean, they're just under 40% in total for the game, but we normally have, in around 70. But they had spells where they were. I mean, Danny Roll actually in his interview afterwards sort of said there were spells of the game where we felt like the home side. I'm not too sure. I think that's a little bit wider than that, but they weren't a bad side, but they did note with it, and that's what I think they'll be more annoyed about. They held the possession well. They built up front back. They did okay with the ball. They're not a bad side considering they had a lot of injuries. Like I say, an early goal and a couple of late goals were a massive chunk at game. They're 80 odd minutes at game there where it was in balance, you could say, and they had a couple of corners late on and they were pushing, and we've seen it before. It reminded me of Blackburn coming to 85th minute, a couple of back-to-back corners. I sort of had Blackburn vibes. But, we managed to get through it. But I feel like if you're Sheffield Wednesday, Lord, you're kicking yourself that you didn't. I mean, there were a few times where they broke us lines, the split us defenders who were through on goal. And I tell you what, Biden made a worldy tackle in box. I thought it could have been a penalty if he'd mistimed it. Perfect tackle. And Ampadu did the same when he was just about to shoot. And, I kind of feel like that defensive line today put the bodies online, to a point where it was a little bit, it reminded me so much of Sheffield United. And I don't know if I'm reading too much into it with Meslier mistake at Sunderland. Sheffield United came around just like this one after result problem at Hull that he had that mistake. And I look at it and think they made a conscious effort to really give more to reduce the shots that Meslier faced in my eyes. And I know they'll do it every game. It might be just, an extra couple of percent, I don't know, but I just feel like they were putting the bodies on, and they were throwing themselves in front of the ball to try and stop that ball getting to Meslier. And like you say, you want them to do that every game, and they do, to be fair. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I do feel like there were a couple like those challenges, by Ampadu and Byron in particular. Byron was phenomenal today. Put his body online so much, did Byron. I thought it was brilliant. Danny Talksport, come on, people, 30 away from 1K. Yeah, if you're new in here, just stick us a sub and a like, and if you don't mind, thanks so much. And if you're not, just thanks for being here anyways. Foster MOT, that's my eldest. Hey up, mate. Hope you're okay. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Danny, here he is. He loves it. Hey up, son. Well, for this performance. Yeah, me too. Sean says, Wilco writes, I went 3 when I was convinced Meslier would concede. Well, now, like I say, mate, they did really well, the defence, didn't they, to keep it to a minimum with shots. They really did. They really protected him well today, because, like I said, they had a lot of ball. They had a lot of ball in our half as well, but we limited them next to none, which is great. Paul Jones for last 12. Gavin Parry, rotate the wingers with Burnley ahead. Yeah, I would, mate. I would. I mean, let's get into that Ramazani goal. We're going to jump through the solo one just because I've come to this one, but yeah, I mean, Ramazani. I always say on my channel, Gavin, as a lot of people probably do, some of these players are too good to be on bench, but some of these players on bench aren't in form. You don't know. Your Ramazani, he's only really had Derby where they look poor. He's coming back from injury. It's hard to say. But Joseph, people like this, they're only going to get 20 minutes at best as a sub. You're only coming on 70. We know Farker doesn't sub on, half time, 50, 60, 70 minutes. You've got to come on and make an impact. He come on today, Ramazani. I've got it at 83rd minute. He came on 83rd minute. He walked off 15 minutes later with a golden assist. That's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do. And I know 20 minutes isn't always enough to field game and grow into game. It's probably not enough time, but they haven't got a fucking choice. That's all you're getting. If you're on bench, that's all you're getting. So you've got to come on and you've got to impact a game. And what a goal by Ramazani. Great assist. All round in the short window that he had, he's put himself out there and said, give me a start. Unfortunately for Ramazani, Solomon is currently our most formed player and our best player. I'd probably give Solomon man of match again. That goal was brilliant. But there you've got a goal from Solomon, a goal from Ramazani. As wingers, I in my eyes are our strongest position in this side. I know we've got wealth of depth in other areas, especially in midfield, but I do feel like our wingers are just scandalously good. It's a cheat code. I would like to see rotation ahead of Burnley, 100%. I could see it happening. I could see Ramazani starting now, 100%. Give Solomon game off. It's the Nonto one for me. It's good enough to start. He's just not in form, but maybe he's not going to get through that form just playing 20 minutes. So maybe a start wouldn't do him, any harm. And if Ramazani and Nonto have a really good performance against Norwich, everyone's flying then going into Burnley, which is only good. So yeah, I'd rotate a bit, mate, for this one. It reminds me of Stoke and Derby, near Christmas, where really close together. You pick your best side for first and your second one. You're probably still good enough if you take 3 or 4 out and rotate, and then you go again. And that's how I feel this one will be. Marcus says Meslier had a roping one roping moment from across. He was okay to go. Yeah, I thought so, mate. Like you say, you're always going to get that with Meslier. You're always going to get him being quite flappy, quite nervous. Understandably so with what's happened, but fair play to him. No mistakes today. A couple of where he came out and punched it and he got distance on it, whether we agree he punched it or not. There were no howler there today. And can you imagine the pressure he had on him today? Massive. I heard Aronson got a knock first half, carried on playing. Yeah, I saw he got a knock, mate. I don't feel like he was limping. I feel like if it had been bad, he'd have come off, didn't he? But yeah, he did get a knock. But yeah, I didn't really notice out after that. I do feel like he needs a rest. He needs to come out. I'd rest him 100%. Maybe it's something we look at for that Norwich game. We take him out when he tries and maybe an on to win 10. He's got to do something because currently we haven't got a 10 and we need one. And I just think you keep flogging Aronson, eventually he's going to break. And then what do we do? Sean Ely, Danny, I think we didn't play that bad. We controlled most of the match. They only had 10 minutes in both half where they had the ball, but they did nothing. Yeah, they did. I'm not saying they did all with it. They didn't create no clear-cut chances. They had a really good couple of half chances where they sort of did get in behind, that defence was penetrated a few times, but the defence, that last-ditch tackle by Byram and Ampadu prevented the shot, which could have gone in. We don't know what Meslier were going to be like, face one-on-one today. And we nullified it, but they had a couple of 10-minute spells, but not many teams come to Leeds and do that, so fair play to them. They didn't sit back into a low block and just absorb pressure and try and catch and counter. They played football. They tried to give it a go. They tried to play their game, and you've got to respect that. And they almost got out there with something, at one point, a couple of back-to-back corners at 85th minute. One of those goes in, which, I was shitting myself thinking they were gonna. It could have been a different day, but luckily, kept us nerve, and then eventually, if you keep going and going and going, eventually the quality of our side should prevail, and that's exactly what happened today. Exactly what happened. There's no denying that our quality stands in great stead in any moment in any game. As long as we're in game, obviously we're 1-up, but as long as we're in game, we're always capable of getting a goal, and especially when we're 1-up, and other team are really sticking on us for that last 5-10 minutes counter attack. We're just deadly on it. We're just absolutely deadly on it. We didn't have much to do. Yeah, it didn't. It's a good job. This is what he needs now, Mes, because he starts next game. That's it. He ain't going to get rotated now. That's him. He now needs a run of games now where we keep those shots down to a minimum, like we saw after the Sunderland game. We really did it with a very similar situation. This in terms of the level of the mistake, the calibre of the mistake, and the side really backed him up after that and really put in extra efforts to really protect him. And that happened today for me, and it needs to happen, beyond today. Nige, again, no goals from our nines. Need another profile at nines. Yeah, we do, Nige, 100%. Needs to be, that word's perfect. Needs to be a different profile. It really does. Pido, difficult game for Pido. Didn't really Didn't really get a sniff, but I thought linked up the play quite well. Were quite tidy with ball, but like I said, didn't really get a sniff in the box. Didn't no landed to him, no fell to him. It was one of them really. But I did feel like he did okay. And then, like you say, you're bringing Joseph on, who's I'd say is out of form. He gets busy, but yeah, I'd agree with that. We need something different to both of them players for me. If Pirro, drops off a cliff in terms of form or gets an injury, I'd really worry for us up top. Luckily, we've got quality elsewhere, and the fact that we had a 9 today that weren't not on it, but he didn't look like he was going to score. He could have been out there 3 days. I think he probably would have probably still landed to Pirro today, and we know how clinical he is. But the wingers, the midfielders coming up with goals. This is what we've got on our side. It doesn't just fall on a couple of players now. It's spread across the side, and I'm buzzing for that. Absolutely buzzing about that. But yeah, I 100% agree. We need something a bit different up there, mate. I hope Wayne. Hope you're all right, buddy. A good performance, I thought. Yeah, we had a few blips and they had a few chances, but that's what happens every game. Yeah, it does. Sometimes you forget, don't you? There is another team playing football. It's not just all about us. So sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh, we didn't play too well. I've seen a few people be annoyed with that performance. Like, honestly, the takes on Twitter are scandalous. There is another team playing football against us. You can't just hammer everyone. I mean, we're beating 3-0. On paper, it's a bit of an hammering. The eye test for long spells said it wasn't, although we were still the better side in all aspects for me. I just feel like I haven't seen many teams come and have a go, so I'm going to respect them for that and give them a little bit of that. They played all right, did Wednesday. They're not a bad side. But yeah, there is two teams, it's not just all us. You can't just go out there and absolutely dominate every fucking team and win 3, 4, 5, 6-0 with a dominant performance. You have to give the other team some credit sometimes, and I thought we were fine. Decent performance and a brilliant result. What a win, yeah, man. Yeah, hey up, Callum. Hope you're well, mate. LUFC Passion. Check out my mate Callum as well. He's new to YouTube game. LUFC Passion. I'm sure Danny will whack it in chat for us. And Wilco Whites as well. Whack them in chat for us, Danny, so people can go over and have a look if they choose to. More content, the better for everybody. Darlow should have played. Yeah, he should. He got away with one there as Farker. I've said Nigel. I'm sure everyone agrees. Any more mistakes from Meslier going forward? It's Farker's fault for me. What I will say is, because I wanted to touch on this, I'm about 18 minutes behind on chat, but you all love it, don't you? You all love it. Just takes a while to get through them sometimes, but I love it. What I will say on this one is, I think it sets a bad example to squad. I think it sends out a bad message. I think when you look at it, you've made so many howlers now. Darlow comes in for an FA Cup game, right? But it makes a point, does Farker, of saying he was always coming in for that game. So he hadn't brought him in because Darlow's done well in training. He hadn't even brought him in because Melior's made a mistake. So if there wasn't a cup game, he wouldn't have missed the game. He wouldn't have been pulled, at all out of that lineup. He'd have played against Hull and he'd played this week. And I think it's a bad example. We've got away with it this year in terms of people fallout. There's been no fallouts. We saw Cresswell last year and other incidents in past. Nonto. Everyone appears to be singing off the same hymn sheet this year. It's going well. There's no animosity anywhere. Shit like this can cause it. What's Darlow thinking? What's he thinking? He must be going on speaking to Mrs. saying, what have I got to do? Or what has he got to do wrong to get pulled out? And I think it sets a really bad example. Like I say, if somebody else in that side underperforms, he's probably got every right to bang on his door and say, hold on a minute. I haven't done not as bad as what Mez did at Hull, what Mez did at Sunderland. And it can create an issue, even though they probably all like each other and they're all friends and they all want the best for each other, obviously. It's still going to create issues when one of you, I'm not saying him pulling his weight, but one of you is making howlers that's affecting everybody else. When you have a bad performance and you get dropped, Willie Nonto, he's probably one of them. Is he playing well? No, he ain't nowhere near his level. But he ain't cost us any points as such. He won us points, 5-6 weeks ago away at Swansea. He hadn't dropped us no points, but Mez has. Yet Mez just keeps playing. It just sets a bad precedent for outside me. But luckily, I hope Touchwood notes getting said about that. LUFC Passion says you can tell straight away they feel nervous giving the ball back to him. Yeah, you could, mate. You really could. And I just feel like they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough to pressure him really. But yeah, they did. They were definitely nervous. Evening, Richard. Hope you've had a good weekend, mate. Ready for Monday? I'm not. Darren Varley leaves. Meslier is shy. I'm sorry, but he is. He needs to go find himself. Yeah, and you know what it is? It's not going to be till end of the year, is it, mate? It's not meant to tell the we know that. No confidence in him now. Obviously, I want what's best for him when I was playing. Obviously, there's no point. There were no boos. There were no. There were There was a cheer when he caught his first ball, and it were quite humorous, to be fair. I'm sure they were expecting it, but he got through it, a clean sheet. Is he to thank for the clean sheet? No, but as a collective, he's still part of it, I suppose. Well, we got everything we needed today. We all knew we'd come back in, but we're all worried that there were going to be a howler in there. He got through it. We just know it's going to happen again, and all we can do is just hope it doesn't happen in a game where we drop points. We hope if it does happen again, we still get the 3 points that are on offer that day. But for me, we know he's good for at least one, maybe 2 more of the mistakes this season. And when it happens, I'll be coming for Farke, and I'm a massive Farke fan. But when that happens, because it will happen, I think there will be points dropped again by Meslier. And when it happens, well, I'll over talk about Farke and say, you fucked up on this one. You've messed up for me. But right now, it wasn't today. It wasn't today. Props to Farke for backing Meslier, knowing if anyone wrong. Well, he's put his balls on line, mate. I ain't giving him no props. I'm not, because I still think it's a wrong decision, because I still think Darlow keeps a clean sheet today. Do you know what I mean? Darlow's in net, it's still 3-0 for me. I still think it's a wrong decision, and I just think it is, yeah. He was scared a few times, yeah, and he always will be. I hope you're good, mate. It's best Meslier wasn't tested 100%. It had to be that way today. It had to be. If we'd have been peppered today, God knows what score it could have been. Richard Hogan, early goal was what we wanted. In fairness, they offered a lot going forward. We were comfortable for long stages, but they did have some chances. Probably should have been 2-0 after. Yeah, 100% it could have been. But like I said, they did have chances, no clear-cut ones in terms of, really testing Meslier, one side netting. One what he padded down to his right and tipped out for the corner. But there weren't no massive clear-cut chances, thank God. But they did have, a lot of possession in our half, and they did look neat and tidy with it. They had a couple of breakaways. We got quite stretched at times. They're just not clinical enough. What I'll say about us is we had 16 shots, 5 on target, three goals. The shots we had on target were fairly clinical today. It felt like the chances we had, the actual clear-cut chances we put away today. A couple of other shots that the keeper saved from Dan James, cutting in from that right-hand side onto his left foot. Really good saves, to be fair, but hard chances to score. We were clinical today. And I know 16 shots with only 3 goals sounds like something. When you look at the shots on target, these shots are blocked, they're from outside box and stuff, so you can't read so much into that. But the actual big chances that we fluff, we scored 3 of them. So we're really clinical today, really clinical. I can't remember many chances where it were like, we should have put that away. I don't think there were any, if I'm honest. Farke seems hell-bent on backing Meslier and keeping his confidence up. What about Darlow's confidence play? Yeah, exactly. 100%, mate. It's not fair on Darlow for me. It's really not. It sends out the wrong message, as I just said there, Nige. 100%. I thought they were rubbish. Just a team of athletes, not footballers. Yeah, I mean, apart from one player, Darren, you've got Barry Bannon, who's not an athlete, but he's definitely a footballer. Really talented. Really, I say talented, but he's had a really long career on his oldest chuff. But he's really technically gifted in Barry Bannon. But how he's still running around. I mean, he played well today, Barry Bannon, to be fair. But yeah, it's fair point, mate. But I did think they had a couple of. They were definitely athletic. I can't deny with that comment. They were very athletic. Some great runners with ball. They just haven't got that quality. But for me, they've got a really good manager, and sometimes it's the manager who tactics. They were making subs early. You saw it. They were making subs on 15 minutes. They started making subs. He tweaks things in game. He's a really good, great coach. Really good coaching. I think he'll go on to massive things in game. Danny Roll. So fair play to him. But yeah, our quality. It's just what we've got on it. Everybody's shocked he played Mez. He was always yeah. I know you always said that, Danny. I was sort of on fence. Yeah, Meslier fucked up again on the 8th minute. Yeah, he did, mate. Like I say, luckily we got away with it, didn't we? But he's always going to have these moments, always. Luckily, they didn't capitalise, because he capitalises on it. It's game over, isn't it, at that point for Farke, in terms of, fans just giving him more abuse than he's ever had. Lee Radley, hi Lee, hope you've had a good weekend, mate. Hi Matt, great win, just keep ticking on. Yeah, we do, mate. That's what we need. I want it to get really boring now, just methodical, just win. Let's just knock them out like we did this time last season. All things considered, how bad was it? Oh, mate, I've got the ref wrote down here. Wow. Unreal. To say we won the game, it would even better considering we played against 12 players, wasn't it? That was awful reffing. Awful. Every single decision, every single 50-50 went their way. That first half especially was absolutely atrocious. Like, I've never seen it like it. It was appalling. My mate Priest said to me before the game, he's from Middlesbrough. No, sorry, he's from Sunderland. And I thought, oh, great. He'd swear blind. He was definitely a fan of one of our promotion rivals, wouldn't you? It was appalling, Darren. Absolutely appalling. One of the worst I've seen this year. were times he didn't let the game flow. There were times he stopped it when, we had in the second half he gave us free kick, and then we had, for me, a clear advantage to keep playing, and he pulled us back. Any opportunity to slow our momentum down and give them the upper hand, he did. Really, really poor showing from ref. You said there was from Sheffield. No, I heard it's from Sunderland. I don't know how true that is, but he definitely had another interest, I think, rather than just reffing a game of football. He had added interest elsewhere. So second half was even, got edgy towards the end, but the 2 late goals probably reflected our dominance. Decent performance with the right result. Good to see Ramazani get a goal and assist. Yeah, Richard. Yeah, definitely, mate. If he's one player you wanted to get a goal, it's Ramazani, because you know what he's like, you know what he's capable of. Like a new signing now, I think, if he can somehow get in that side. I don't know if they've got a rejig formation. Look at Aronson coming out for a rest at 10 and jig stuff. I've spoke about it a lot this season, and some people say no one else can play in 10. I disagree, but we saw it against Harrogate, and it didn't really work. I've always stated and I don't want Aronson to come out, to be fair, I want him to keep going. I've always stated at some point, James, Ramazani and Solomon will all be too good for one of them to sit on bench. And I don't even mind if one of them sits on bench. Fuck it, they've just got to deal with it. It makes his bench stronger and they get minutes. Unbelievable. I just think at some point when they start firing, how do you keep any of them free out? I don't know. But yeah, I'm so happy Ramazani got a goal, got an assist. And yeah, I think the 2 late goals, I think it flattered us because 2 late goals, takes it to 3. Was it a 3-0? I don't know if it was, to be honest. But I asked. But yeah, it definitely right result. They didn't offer much of a goal threat, but they did okay. They looked an all right side. Look, one of the better sides I've seen. Not the best, but one of the better sides. Now a 3-point gap to Burnley and a massive goal difference advantage. So it's like a 4-point gap in it, Stephen. It's huge. At this stage, it's huge. I've seen a lot of takes on Twitter. I've seen a lot of takes on social media saying that people are worried that having a strong performance. Honestly, I seen someone on Twitter earlier. My mate Priestley showed me that as well, and he had a fair few followers, and he was fuming at full time. He was effing and blinding on Twitter, and he was fuming because it means we're not going to sign anyone. So I would open it with a fake account, but apparently he does it all the time. But how can any Leeds fan want Leeds to lose just so we sign players? Like, why would you want us to lose today? Because you're worried that that's going to mean we're not going to sign anyone because, we played really well. What, so you'd rather us drop points so then we buy a couple of players to try and gain more points later in the season? How about we just fucking take them now? And then if we sign someone, we do. And if we don't, we don't. Like, it is what it is. Then we can blame 49ers if we don't go up. It is what it is. We can't force them to do all. But anybody who's got the mentality of, and I've thought it in terms of the Hull and the Blackburn game, like bad results there, it might make them look to do something where if everything's all, sunshines and rainbows and everything's going great, why would they sign anyone? I still sort of think like that. But I ain't going into a game thinking I don't want them to do well because I don't want them to think they don't need anybody. I want them to fucking win every game, and if we don't sign anyone, we fucking deal with it, don't we? Like, it's mental. I know it's a minority. I know it might be 1 or 2, but I still can't believe there's 1 or 2 that think that. If that's how you think, go support someone else. Why are you even a Leeds fan? If you actually go with the interest of I want us to play bad today because I want the owners to see that what we're missing, they're not fucking stupid. Look at the positions within one of the biggest, best football clubs in the world. In my eyes, it is. What a privileged position they are to be in, and they're all masters of their roles. They know what we need. It's just whether they want to go do it or not. Whether they think they know what would make us a better side, should I say? Whether they think we need it to get promotion is another story. But to go into a game thinking, I don't want to blow them away because they'll think we don't need a 10, they'll think we don't need a 9, they'll think we don't need a goalkeeper. Bizarre for me. Bizarre. I'll never sit on that side of thinking. I don't know what you guys think. How tall are Sheffield Wednesday team apart from Little Barry? Yeah, mate, there were some big ones in there, mate. Even the wingers were quite tall and physical. Good to hear the crowd singing Bamford's chant for Jane. Yeah, it really was, mate. He got standing ovation. Minutes applause, and yeah, it was quite emotional. To be fair, I got that on camera from my vlog as well. Yeah, we're the best at that. We're the best at that. One of my mates from school passed away last year. They put it on big screen, and he got same. We're just one of a kind when it comes to that, mate. We look after us own, and we all unite. And it we're really good, mate. Really well. Richard, same again on Wednesday would be nice, and will set us up well for the game at Burnley. Yeah, it would, mate. It would. Cheers, Danny. Way back, but I know you've put him in chat. Thank you, mate. Wilco Whites. There's yours, Danny Rumsey's, for your transfer update video when you do that. Bielsa's name. How did Stroud get injured? A week he wasn't playing. So Leeds. He got injured in the Harrogate game, didn't he? They played the Harrogate game. Played in the Harrogate game. And people will be slating saying he shouldn't have got no minutes in that because it were only Harrogate. But yeah, he got it in that. Thank you for the support, everyone. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Hopefully everyone comes over and has a look. Oh, but in training when he did it, but he played, didn't he? He did play. Come on, I probably Sean. 4-0 v Norwich. Wednesday, but yeah, it would be, mate. It would. To top it off, Scum got beat 3-1. Yeah, things you love to see. Things you love to see, mate. It's kind of more of a shock if they actually win these days. I actually had to shock when they get beat. They're just so apart at that. We weren't at our best, but got the job done on the Norwich. Yeah, Sam, 100%. We weren't at his best, but it doesn't really matter, does it? 3-0. Bloody 3-0. Like, we'd have took, years ago, we'd have took a 1-0. We'd have took a 2-0 at Cardiff. Bloody 6, 7, 8 years ago, wouldn't we? And we go to Cardiff this season, win 2-0, and it's a shambolic performance for some, it's crazy. Hi, pal. Your shows. Like your shows. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you, Darren. Solomon to take us to the Premier League. He's class different gravy. Yeah, he is. It's crazy to think only, I don't want to say a few weeks ago because it was longer than that. Maybe start of November, mid-November, there were people saying we'll send him back in January. Crazy talk. I always knew he just weren't match sharp. You could just see it in his all-round game. What a player he is. What a player. He don't lose ball. He can cut inside. He can dribble. He's so classy. Such a good player. And I tell you what, him and Byram, say Byram's not the best at overlapping and underlapping. He ain't no Firpo. He's not athletic. Byram is unbelievable when fit. So dependable when he's on that pitch. You know what you get from Byram, and he's got such a good chemistry with Solomon. I actually think, as a pair, it's probably Solomon's favoured partner, if I'm honest. We'll have to see when Firpo, but for me, Solomon and Byram, no issues there. Brilliant chemistry, them two. My dad thought it was Patrick Bamford's son who died when the crowd was singing for. Yeah, well, I suppose I can see why that is, pal. Yeah, I can see why that is. That is his 30 subs from 1K. Yeah, hey, please get me to that 1K. I'd love that. Thank you, Danny. Beat Norwich and a point at Burnley will be okay. Yeah, I said that to my mate at game. You probably would set 4 out of next 6 available. Like I said, I don't like predicting even conceding a goal at Ellen Road, so it's 3 points a minimum, obviously, against Norwich. The Burnley one, you probably would take a point if someone offered you it now. Can we go beat him? Yeah, we can. I wouldn't be surprised if we are one of the first teams to actually, break that defence and give their keeper actually something at Trafford, something to do. And yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it, to show. It's doing my head in a little bit how Burnley are so good in that stat, I don't want to go there and struggle. Like, we didn't score against them at Ellen Road. We had all ball. Like, we battered them and still lost 1-0. Pissed me off, did that. I want them to go get revenge. I want them to go turn it on, and we can put goals past them. We can score 2 or 3 away at Burnley, even though all stats are telling us otherwise. We can be that team. If anyone can do it, we can. But I would take a draw. It wouldn't be a bad result. Beat Norwich and get a draw, that it wouldn't be. But it would be nice to obviously get the 6, and we're well capable of that. Hull fans praising Jeff. I've not seen Holt, mate. I know he came on other day as a sub. He's getting minutes, brilliant. Hopefully he does really well. Ampadu was awesome today. Yeah, Ampadu. He's really dependable in it. I feel like he's had a couple of drops in form, in previous spells. I feel like he started really good, then he went off boil a little bit, and I feel like he's come back now and he's just gone straight back into it. I feel like he's playing really well at the minute. Obviously, he's playing out of position, but we know he's decent at centre half. 29 to 1K. Cheers, chat. I know you're all really pushing me for that 1K. Much appreciated. Thank you. It'll come when it comes, but yeah, thanks a lot. Chris says the defence has tried to protect Mills all season. We've had plenty of games where he hasn't even. Yeah, we have, mate. He's got so many clean sheets, and that looks great for a keeper. But it's not his stat for me. The clean sheet, it goes to keeper. It's not his stat. It's a collective that. And we had 3 or 4 games this season, I think, in a run where I think we had 3 shots faced on target in like 4 games. It was less than a shot a game on target, and it's mental. Like, he's so lucky with that defence he's got in front of him. Bielsa's knee. Burnley are outstanding at the back, letting only 9 years crazy. So projected 16-ish for the season. Imagine only conceded 15 all season. Impressive. Yeah, honestly, Bielsa's knee. It's one of them where They're not great going forward. They're not. It's no secret. They're really not that great going forward. They've just brought in Ashley Barnes backhand to the club. That shithouse will do a job for them, I suppose. But it goes to show you what kind of side they are going forward. We know what they are. Burnley. It's a bit ugly. It's not pretty. They try to clean up their act a little bit a few years ago. We're coming in there and play a bit more attractive. They've got some decent players, really good players to be fair. They've probably got second best quality of squad, the Leeds, but they're a proper championship side of Burnley. They've got some players that'll kick you up in the air. They just don't concede. Don't matter how poor they are going forward, and I've watched them a few times, and they are shite. They've got a keeper who's like a man possessed. We saw that those 2 penalty saves. Whether you think the penalties were good or not, it went the right way and he saved them. He goes wrong way, it goes in bottom. Both of them go in, and no one can be said. He goes right way, gets a good hand on them, saves them both. He's a hero. Our keeper will make those saves. Our keeper will win us them points. Burnley's got that. They've got a keeper high in confidence. A keeper who's got a massive ceiling. Someone I don't think will regress as he gets older, like Meslier. I don't think he will. I think he's a top draw keeper. I think he'll play for England, Old Trafford. I really do. They're lucky with that, but the defence in front of him are just rock solid. So to go to Burnley to win, you've got to get one at least. Is it going to be hard? Yeah, it is. But if anyone can do it, Leeds can for me. But yeah, what an impressive start is to concede 9, mate. It's actually ridiculous. Fair play to Scott Parker for that as well. We moan about boring football at times. It's turgid what they've got, but they don't concede, so they're always in a chance of winning out there. Andrew Wall, through 27 games versus last year, we have more points, better table position, more goals, less goals conceded on the way to 2 points of average. That should take us up. Yeah, 100%. Every stat looks brilliant. The eye test for me is good. That's the problem with a lot of people, though. The eye test doesn't match the stats, so they know we're doing well. You can caveat it with everything and generalise it to, yeah, but we're top of league, so, there's no to moan about. There's always something to moan about, always something you can do better in, but for me, the eye test is fine. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Is it thrilling? Nah. Is it good? Yeah, I'd say it's good. I sit there and I'm entertained. I up and down like me see all game, no, but I don't understand there's two teams, there's two at tango, but I would say, a lot of people don't enjoy the Farker football, the Fark ball. The atmosphere is a little bit subdued. I thought for a dinner time kickoff, it wasn't too bad today. If I'm honest, I was worried it was going to be a really crap atmosphere. Dinner time kickoffs can be. It were all right. I thought Wednesday's fans brought it. It made a decent game. Those late goals ended it really well. Massive spell in middle where it was a little bit eerie because we're getting a bit nervy at times. But yeah, everything you said there, pal, nail on head, mate. It's enough there. Starts to back up what everyone's thinking that will go up for me. Let's get Sean Wilker White to 100, even though he slags our best striker. Yeah, let's do that as well, guys. We are winning these tough games when in the past we would lose. Always a great team effort. Yeah, Lee, 100%. How many times have we seen us lose to Wendy's before over years? I agree. Large has made an impact. He's got to in the small. He's never gonna dispossess knock off Solomon from that left side, is he? Unless he does that. Is Ramazani too good to be sat on bench? Yeah, he is. 100% he is. I think he's so good. So good. Unbelievable player, Ramazani. And he's got to take these 20-minute spells and run with him because that's all he's going to get back inside. So for me, he may start on Wednesday, and if he does, he's got to do the same again. He's got to come up with a goal and assist. He's got to do something big because he's playing against. For me, the best two players in Championship technically are competing for one spot in the same side. Is that wild? I don't think it is. I think technically they are the best two footballers in the division. They both play for the same side and both play the same position. That, in my opinion. Lord Chiagorov, highly. My horse didn't run today. Training didn't like the race. Boo! Not in the horse racing. Gobbledygook to me. Bielsa's knee. You're right. I like the attitude. You get 15 minutes better score if you're a sub. Yeah, it's fierce. It is, and you can go one or two ways. Can't you? You can not be arsed. And ultimately just stay out that side and not force your way in. And we've seen that sometimes with some players. It can go another way as well, where you've got someone like Nonto who can try too hard because you've only got such a small window. Sometimes you hold on a ball too long. Sometimes you're a bit greedy. I feel like we're seeing that with Nonto. He's busy. He's getting loads of ball. He's Nonto. He's trying to make an impact, but because I think he's got such tunnel vision because he knows he's only got so many minutes. I think that'd be different if he starts a game. He knows he can give that ball because he's going to get the ball back. He ain't looking at the clock thinking there's 3-4 minutes left. I feel like Ramazani today has done all he can do, and he's probably the next in line to get a start if you're going to look at rotating any wingers. However you do, I think Ramazani can play anywhere. I know he's predominantly on the left. I do think he could play at 10. I do think he can play right. I think when you're that good, you're that good. Doesn't matter what side you pitch you play on for me. We see him rotate mid-game anyway and him have spells out on right and vice versa. But yeah, your attitude's got to be on it. Your attitude's got to be, I need to win my shirt back. And we've seen it with Pino. Pino won his shirt back when he lost it early in the season. You know, Solomon started on bench. He's in there now over Ramazani. Sometimes a knock to a player, an injury, a suspension, you get your chance, you've got to take it. Sometimes it's a 20-minute sub-appearance. Go out and fucking do it. Don't moan about it. Their cards have been dealt, now go do it. And Ramazani's done that today. I'd like to see Ramazani at 10. I've said it all the time, me too, mate. Ramazani or Solomon at 10. Problem is I wouldn't put Solomon at 10 because Solomon's played so well out of left. Do I think he could play well in 10? Yeah, I do. People make a big deal out of not square pegs round holes. I get it. But if you're a good footballer, I play here. I tell you what, today you're playing here. Just fucking play. Just play. Ramazani and Solomon are mustard. They're standout class amongst this lot. Yeah, they are. Way too good for this league. Way too good for this league. Like a lot of our players are. There is, I'd say them two. I'd say Tanaka. I'd say Strauch. I'd say they're definitely the cluster of our, like when we looked last year and you said Somerville and Rutter and Archie Gray, I'd say this year you'd say, so I know he's a lone player, but you'd say Solomon, Ramazani, Strauch and Tanaka. I'd say them four are a class above everybody else in this league for me in their, positions. Solomon, man of the match by a mile. They were doubling in trouble. Yeah, they were. Every week it's same. And he finds himself in these little pockets with 2 or 3 round him and he flicks it out to Biden who then starts an attack. He's just such a tricky player. To think people didn't think, he were going to be any good. Andy says Dan James kept their keeper on. Yeah, he did. A couple of really good hits. Thing is, when he hits them, Dan James, he hits them true, doesn't he? Very rare does he scuff a shot, Dan James. He used to hit past. I thought his connection with how his technique of shooting used to be way off. Now it's head down and he just absolutely smashing it. That's what I love about Dan James. He'll always have a go as well. He's such a selfless player, but when he's in those positions and he knows, there's an opportunity to take a shot, whether it's even cutting in on his left, he always has a pop. And he always keeps that back line honest because you can't switch off because he's in behind. And he always keeps keeper honest because he'll always have a go. He's one of them. And over years, we've had so many players who don't have a go. So he's a breath of fresh air. The one clearance Meslier had was bollocks. Yeah, I know, mate. Our block saved the goal. Yeah, it did, mate. Yeah, you're right, Gavin. That was massive. That was absolutely massive because that was a goal. If he don't make that block, they'll get one there. If Aronson wasn't for Aronson, we don't score that first goal. No, mate. That first goal, I'll touch on that. Yeah, I mean, first of all, the ball by Rothwell was unbelievable. Just great vision. Great. I could see it from where I was in top of East Stand. Beautiful run by Aronson. Like I said, everything for that first goal were in. I mean, the keeper made a fumble, but it was hard to take in. That, to be fair, where the ball bounced in front of him, Aronson running on, it was a mistake. It was, but it was hard. It was an hard take that. He did well to come out to it, but yeah, what a ball by Rothwell. What great vision. And Aronson's run there, mate. Just slightly too long for him. But like I said, without that pressure on goalkeeper, keeper doesn't spill it. It's just an easy take if he's not there. So yeah, we're brilliant. And then obviously Solomon just takes that ball in and just hammers it home. Easy finish for him. But he was there. He anticipated the mistake. But that's what good players do. That's what great players do. That's why great players get great numbers because they anticipate errors. Easy. Hey up, easy. Oh, you've had a good day, mate. Happy, mate. Hi, Matt. Great result. All we need now is consistency. Yeah, what a great result. The performance, some people aren't too thrilled by it. Does it really matter at this stage? I thought it was decent. Don't really matter for me. Yeah, it was, mate. You just need that consistency, like you say. At home, we've got it. Can we now get it, back to back? Just, we had a bit of a poor start to 25, didn't we? Dropping points in them too. Let's build on it. We're another win against Norwich. I firmly believe we'll do. And the big test is Burnley, innit? We get through that game as well, and we're absolutely flying at that point. Aronson really needs to release a ball. Yeah, he does it a lot, mate. He does it a lot. I am Death Sniper. Hope you well, mate. He does it a lot. He gets the ball. He does really well. A couple of times today, he did fucking so well to get out of space he was in. And he's really quick over that short distance. And he gets away from his man. And you give it. Brendan, give it. Oh, he's lost it. Fucking hell, Brendan, give it. You do that 2 or 3 times a game, and it breaks down so many promising opportunities. But on the other hand, maybe that opportunity don't come if it's not Aronson with ball because he does so well to get away. But it could be so more effective if he just looked up and give the easy pass. He holds it on that second too long, which way too many times. It's such a shame because so many attacks break down because of it. Going to be a long one tonight, this. Well behind on chats. I'd rest Aronson v Norwich. Solomon in the 10. Largely, yeah, where Solomon's place. I can't disagree. Bielsa's knee. Mez is what Mez is. Nothing else needs to be said. Leeds will get promoted. If they do, in spite of him, not because of him, just the way it is, and something we need to accept, unfortunately. I agree. I agree with that all, mate. I really do. There you go. So is Darren Bielsa's knee spot on. Yeah, I have to agree with that. Please, if you haven't sub to the links in the chat, please do. Yeah, check out the chat. There's a couple channels to sub to in there. Andy Rowe. Pirro didn't have the best game, though. I'm convinced the providers aren't giving him the ammunition on sixpence. Yeah, we know if it's on a sixpence, we know it's in the goal, in the back of the net, don't we? We know that's a fact. Some games just aren't going to suit him, and this is one of them. The matchup in general just didn't suit Pirro today, but he did all right. He linked up. You can tell early on he wasn't going to have many opportunities today for me. But he did all he can. Okay, let me know when you're next running. Tanaka, what's that? I didn't feel Tanaka's passing accuracy was on form today. Yeah, I haven't seen the stats, Paul, but a couple of times when he actually tried to do a pass out wide and totally misjudged it. A couple of them went out off the field, and a couple of them were just easy headers for the defenders. But yeah, his passing accuracy might not have been on it, but he got a goal today, which is massive as well, isn't it? So I'll swap it for a goal today, but I don't think it's much to worry about, is it? But yeah, you are right, mate. I noticed that as well today. Chris Allen, hey up, mate. Bogle showing some real quality now. Had a great, yeah. Bogle, I feel it's standard now. You know, him and James are really good together. Really good together. They overlapping all the time. I mean, when one of them's got ball, you know the other one. As soon as he gets the ball, whether it's James or Bogle, the other one's bombing past him, and they try to get in behind that, that defender all the time. The left back the left wing left back as well. They've got a torrid time with them too because they're both rapid. And Bogle, he's coming into the middle of the park as well. Now he's winning ball and driving with it. And I weren't sure on Bogle. I won't lie. I weren't sure on Bogle. First month season, he looks class now. I really like him, and that's going backwards as well. That's defending as well. He looks really, really good at the minute. Andy says we have class championship players in every position. Who do you think will make an impact if we go up? What position do we need to get in the summer besides keeper? So as a Prem side, keeper obviously, no left back, no centre half. I don't think we need anyone in centre midfield. You probably have to replace Rothwell if he goes on loan. He goes back off his loan. A 10 and a 9. 5 potential starters, and I think then a couple more just to pack out that feet. So I think we need about 7, mate. Maybe 7. Maybe 2 strikers. Yeah. I've sort of been, I'm not in the know at all, but I've sort of been passed a bit of information that if we go up, you might not see Pirro in a Leeds shirt, but that's just hearsay. But it's come from, potentially a good source. But we'll see if we go up. Pirro might not be. I think Pirro's a bench option in Prem. If that's so, do they look at maybe moving him on and bringing a couple in? But I don't know. I'd like to see Pirro in Prem still, but as a bench option coming on for the last 20. Bielsa's knee, maybe I'm too generous. When we score 3, I don't really have much criticism of any of the front attacking 5. Don't need everyone to score, just someone. That's what's successful. Yeah, I agree, mate. Yeah, we can sit here and say it weren't a great performance, whatever. We scored 3 goals. It's a pretty good performance, isn't it? You could have any number 9 and we'd have a hard time. Our system doesn't suit a 9. You didn't feel Tanaka's passing actually one form today. Yeah. No, touching that one, mate. Rothwell's corners were slow, high floors, easy to telegraph. They need to be whipped in quicker, lower 6 yards away from the. Yeah, I agree, Andy. They weren't the best today. I don't feel like we looked threatening from a corner. There was one, I think, where we got the first contact and it went to back post. I can't remember out wide at post, and it maybe come with something. But yeah, I don't think they were the best today. And he's usually really good at them. Darren says we were miles better. They were just fit, fast, and not very good. Yeah, so 3-0 says we were anyway, Darren. To be fair, like I say, on another day we don't get 2 late goals. It's a 1-0 in it. But either way, I can't really ask. But yeah, I thought they were all right for the players they've got out and the lack, difference in quality. I thought they did okay. And for me, it's the manager who did that. Diggler, it's a good job we scored early, or maybe they would have parked the bus. I've not actually seen the game, but saw some highlights. Yeah, you know what it is, mate? I said that. I said it was really nice to see a team not park the bus. But you could be right. The fact that they scored an early goal might be the reason they didn't. Maybe that early goal don't come. You know, maybe they do a different. Andy says, not going to lie, Matt, it was a tough watch on ITV. Last ball let Wednesday down. Yeah, no, they did. They were really good until that final ball. Hence why they didn't test Meslier enough. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it. I won't lie. I was at the game. I watched the highlights of ITV. I actually want to watch the full game back, to be fair. I want to try and get it on before I came on here, but I had no chance. But I enjoyed the game. I thought as a neutral, it must have been okay. You know, it wasn't a bad game at all. That wasn't a bad game of football at all. There's Passion for Leeds, my friend Callum's channel. So go check him out if you don't mind, please. Leeds didn't appear to get out of third gear. Yeah, but we don't, do we? We don't need to. We don't need to. How many times have we said this year, Andy? We're in second, third gear, and we come out with 3 points, 3-0. And you, in your opinion, third gear were all that we needed to win in a local derby against Sheffield Wednesday. We've had some tussles over years by 3-0. I'll take it. We've set a high bar for our strikers, but the bar is pretty low for our goalkeepers. 100%. Yeah, 100%. You bang on there, mate. Diggler without the ball, they were 5 at the back and 4 at the back with the ball. Yeah, they were, mate. Really good, mate. Really good coach is Danny Roll. Really good coach. His tactics in game, you could see him changing formation when, like I say, with and without possession. You could see it. It was so clear. Really well drilled side. But the quality's there, isn't it? The quality's there for us. Thought Aronson was off it today. He could do with competition in the 10. Yeah, Pierre. Thanks for being here, mate. Yeah, 100%. I said it in the Premier League when we were in Prem. He faded after Christmas, you know, in that Prem season. He was flying up as best player till went to Qatar in World Cup, and then he came back and he did no rest of the season. And I'm worried that he's going to have, you know, a second half of the season like that. But I've slated him early on in the season, didn't think he was good enough. He came good, and I backed him, and I'm still going to back him. I just think he needs competition. He needs to be able to come out and get rested, because if he gets injured, we're knackered. If he loses form, we're knackered, because apparently no one else can play 10. I have my thoughts, as I've said, but they do need to go out and get someone. Up early tomorrow morning, so you're getting off, mate. That's fine. Night, Sean, mate. Thanks for dropping in, mate. Take care, and we'll speak soon. We will speak soon. I don't think I've ever been this far behind on chat, but you know me, I try and read them all out because I love it. Mark, hey up, mate. Gutted to be back at work tomorrow. Darlow signed knowing he was going to be second keeper. Yes, he should get some games, but Farker wants to keep him. Andy, do you think he was? I honestly, even now, I honestly always say we signed him as number 1. The club clearly didn't, but I thought most of the fans were under the impression that it was going to be number 1, me. But yeah, I honestly thought when we got relegated, he were going to get sold to Meslier. But it's not happened, has it? Andy wrote, I'm relieved that Sheffield Wednesday game off the road could have been a banana skin. Yeah, it could be, 100% it could. Any derby, that whole game, that could be a banana skin. We're 3-1 up. Guess what? It would have fucking banana skin, wouldn't it? Easy, Darlow was never going to be first choice. He won't ever be enjoined us on that understanding. Yeah, fair enough, mate. I mean, I don't know if you know something I don't, but I genuinely thought Darlow were coming as well because I thought Meslier were leaving. When we first got relegated, I swore down Meslier were leaving. And I thought Darlow were good enough. He had a really good season the whole year before we signed him. I thought he was definitely adequate for this level. I think his keeper's worse than Darlow in this league. Darren says, I honestly think it's neglect not to strengthen now keeper centre back 9 or 10 or 9 and 10. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to get a keeper. They're not going to get a keeper in January. That'll come at the end of the season. I'm 100% sure. 99% sure Meslier isn't our number 1 in Prem. We don't get a keeper. There's no way. Because we won't offload him in Jan now, and they won't bring in 4 keepers unless they bring one in and get rid of Cairns. But then who's decent going to come in if you're just replacing Cairns? It's not going to happen. 9 and 10, they're only going to get 1 for me. I'm going to go out on a win, me. I reckon we get Buendia. I honestly think we get Buendia. I'm adamant we get Buendia towards the end of the window. And if we get anybody else, I think on the Bomadelli, I think it'll be someone who he knows, someone who has played under him before. That's my tip. Andy Romati, is it a distraction? Million goal, 50-50 mistakes will be magnified tenfold. Yeah, it is definitely a distraction. It definitely is. And it's that thing of the defenders. Like, look at Rodon's reaction when it happened. That defensive underneath, they're not trusting him. They're having to think twice about situations, and that ain't good. They need to just concentrate on their own game. You know, it's like when you're playing with a young lad at side here, and you're having to think about their next move. You don't need that. You just need to play your own game. So it's definitely not an ideal situation to be in. But you know, we're all right. We managed to get through. Logan Leeds. The difference I seen was Ramazani. This is why, and was evident in this game, why we need to sign a 10. Ideally, would have been nice to get one in the summer, but I knew having some games. So yeah, I agree. I agree, mate. 100%. Ramazani, complaint 10 for me. He really can. You need him on pitch. I think the second half of the season, we need him on pitch. I think it's criminal to ever have a situation where we're struggling to score a goal. We saw it at Hull. Look at Hull. We were struggling. First half, we were very poor. Luckily, we came and we banged in some goals, but we drew game, we dropped points. Any game, we drop points in certain games where Ramazani ain't got minutes. Like, it's crazy that. Yeah, we scored 3 goals in that game. Having Ramazani probably wouldn't have affected the 3 that went the other way, fair enough. But the games where we've actually dropped points this season, Ramazani's got no minutes. So games back to back. I think it was Blackburn and Hull, wasn't it? Those two, he didn't get no minutes. What? Like, that, it feels criminal, does that? It feels criminal. Barry Bannon would get us over the line. Mate, I've seen a few people say that. By Bannon and bang him in R10. It's crazy to me. It's wild, but it's not for me. But Barry Bannon looks like a lolly that someone dropped on the carpet. And if Meslier messes up, that'll be another question diverted in the press conference. Yeah, it will be, mate. He doesn't like answering some of these direct questions, does he? Logan again says, even though he's having a good season, stats and all, it's naive for us to think in play majority of the games and rely on Pedro Ghost when they move to, when he moves into the 10 usually. Yeah, I mean, we've said a fact say recently in press conference, haven't we? He sort of speaks about the 10 after Aronson. He always says Pedro. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. He ain't a 10. Aronson now is a 10, but it's just getting flogged. It's getting flogged. It's too much. Hey, up, Skip. There's David Batty again. There you are, my mate. I think if we do go up, this team still needs a big upgrade in numerous positions. We're a very good championship. Yeah, we are a very good championship team, but Premier League, we will get rinsed. Yeah, I think we've got world is at this level. Best championship players, so we've probably ever seen in terms of the depth of wings, the depth in midfield. Like, I don't know how many championship sides have had the quality that Leeds have got. When we go up, those excellent world is at this level become just good players, decent players at that level. They've got to get a lot more talent in and around them. But we've got a really good foundation, really good talent pool there to grow on. But you'd be daft, I think, to think that this side could over over 38 games in Prem. I don't see how you could really think we'd make a dent in that league. I really don't. We won the game, but the ref lost it after about 15 minutes. Yeah, he did, mate. He didn't get a lid on it. It was just a shocking ref, mate. Absolutely awful. Logan, but we may need to buy one. But we've seen Solomon and Ramazani play that much in the 10. Yeah, we do, mate. We need to get a 10. We need to buy a 10. I say we don't want to just be trying people and never say it. We need to get one. 100%. To a degree, yeah, I much prefer Piddle coming off the bench. Provides impact. Yeah, Piddle's a great bench option. I think he'd still score goals in Prem off a bench. I really do. I think when he gets half a chance, he takes it. Where did he get the 7 minutes of extra time from? Yeah, no idea. No idea. He clearly wanted them to get a goal, didn't he? Clearly wanted them to get a goal because there was no way there was 7 minutes there. They were just not. I don't get where he got them from. We're too long. What have you put there, Lord? All the subs, Wendy's players injured. Yeah, I still don't think it was 7 minutes. It felt wild at the time, and I know that it was a bit stop-start at times, but it did feel wild at the time. Still about half an hour. We're back on shots. I think Meslier keeps us up, but past that Ramsdale or Trafford will be good signings if Southampton go down and Burnley don't get promoted. Yeah, there's a couple of keepers I've got my eyes on, mate. Trafford going to Newcastle, I've heard that, Danny. Darren says there are some pretty poor teams in the division, 4 or 5 teams that are going to be pushing. We need to strengthen, but I will be over the moon to be wrong about Meslier and win it. Yeah, mate, how nice would it be for him to prove everyone wrong? But well nice, wouldn't it? But well nice. I want to be proved wrong by him. Go show this talent you've apparently got. Your manager's back to you. Go show us it. And Mecca's all shut up. Mecca's all eat humble pie end of the season. Nige says smart club strength and win at top. Yeah, they do. And it's so easy not to know when it's that carrot's there. And if you think you've got enough, do you go for it? Do you spend money? Do you put money in it when else you've already got what you're going to sell and they've already told you this is what you're getting, no matter what you do with it. You're not gonna change it. If that's all you're getting and that's where you're going, regardless of what you put into it, we're not doing it. It depends how ambitious they are, how much they want. For me, we go up anyway. For me, we're going up. We're going up. Do you want to feel comfortable going up? That's where you're bringing players. Yeah, it's been rumoured for the past few windows. Don't think he wants to go and be second choice. No, I don't. It's a daft logic, deliberately wanting to lose again to prove a point. Yeah, well, mate, really, some people like that, mate. Some people like that. Wilco White's just a reminder that I restarted my channel 3 weeks ago. So if you think you're subscribed to me, you might not be. Thanks again, guys. Yeah, Wilco White's. He used to be known as Wilco's Whites, but he had some sort of spam incident, some sort of hacking or something. So he restarted as Wilco Whites. So if anybody thinks that, just double check it, please, and go check. That'll be great. Michael says, not knocking the 49ers fans' perspective. It takes time to integrate a new signing, just my opinion, but early to get the results and then be reassured that if we get an injury, we have a replacement. Yeah, bang on money. Bang on money. Can't disagree. Not going to lie, Solomon was a shrewd move. I was sceptical due to his injuries, but he has proven to be a fantastic loan. Would he be the best loan signing we've had the last 5 years? In terms of quality and ability, probably, yeah. I think he's right talent. I do. I think for what he's done for us, I'd say Ben White. I thought Ben White was just different gravy. But yeah, in terms of quality, I can't even believe he's playing this level. I can't lie. I can't believe he's not playing this level. It's mental. Chris says, I want us to be the team that puts 3 past Burnley. Yeah, I'm saying, I really want us to put a statement out there. Imagine if we go and score 2 or 3 away at Burnley, and really, start making the defence look a little bit leaky, because that defensive record's pissing me off. I ain't going to lie. It's really annoying me at the moment because they did single digits. It's well annoying. But it'd be really nice to go there and give them a bit of a thumping, wouldn't it? But can we do it? Of course we can. Goals prevented is a stat that should be looked at. Yeah, fair that, mate. But Sunderland really was a better team the other night when they played. Sunderland are really entertaining side to watch. I love watching Sunderland play. We've nearly got 2 goals a game. Oh yeah, we're dead boring out with it. Literally almost 2 goals a game on average, and yeah. We've only scored 51 goals. Yeah, we have, mate. It's but yeah, shite some weeks, isn't it? The atmosphere was deep. Yeah, I thought so, Darren. I'm glad you agreed. I've seen a few people's takes and they've said atmosphere's crap. I think in generally it can be this season. It probably has been a bit crap at times. I were really worried for this, but it wasn't a bad atmosphere today. That there were spells obviously when it was quiet. The Wednesday fans were singing. It's like playing at a library or something. Where's your famous atmosphere and all that? We get that most weeks. It's just because we don't feel jeopardy, mate. You're there singing, giving a shit because you 1-0 down. That'll be us when we're in Premier. We're 3-0 down. We know the story. It's just we sat 1-0 up and we're in third gear, knocking it about. We don't massively. There were times when they had corners and you get a little bit nervy. You do. You're a Leeds fan. We're used to it, but not at any point do you feel really worried in these games. So it just you just saunter through games. Sometimes players saunter through games. But for anyone to think his atmosphere or his fan base is shite or it's gone, I don't think it's gone at all. I think the same people are still there, for God's sake. I just think we don't feel like we're going to lose it for me. So it's just, we want to look, get in. You sit back down and you're just waiting for the next one to go in. You're just waiting all the time for the next goal because you just think you're gonna breeze past everyone. But yeah, for an early kickoff, I thought it was sound. I saw Blackburn lost to Oxford. Another John Newsler. I'm not even going there because I really bigged him up, did I? I really bigged him up. I said he is a decent manager at this level. He's decent against Farker anyway. He has Farker's number. Logan says Solomon and DJ wings, Piddle up front, and Ramazani in the tie. I'd love to see it. I think Ramazani, for anyone who says Ramazani can play in 10, I think it's wild. I find our new goalkeeper, Daniel Perez, is a second goalkeeper for Bayern Munich. Check him up. Ooh, okay. I'll have a little Google later, guy. Against Norwich, how filthy does that sound? Yeah, I know, mate. I know. It does. It'd be really good to see someone else in that 10 to see if they can do it. Because if you've got talent out wide, let's be fair, Dan James into 10. Obviously, he is an out-and-out winger. Could probably play right wing back. He is who he is. But Solomon, Nonto, and Ramazani, if they had a run of games in there, they could do business for me at this level anyway. I don't think they're all just out-and-out wingers. But I don't want to see it, really. I want to see him go get a 10. Go get Buendia. Make Buendia happen, and we will be over the moon. I would assume that's a signing most people want that. I'd love to get Solomon on a perm. Yeah, I've seen a few people say, why do we have to do this with loan players? Why have we got to get so attached to loan players? We don't have to sign every loan player we get. Well, we don't have to know, but for me, I'd sign Rothwell as well. I'd sign Rothwell and Solomon, 100%. I mean, I don't know how much money he's talking, but you could easily go up to Prem and sign a £30 million winger who's nowhere near as good as Solomon. That could happen. We've seen it with your Rodrigos, your Mark Rockers, all these other players we've signed for relatively decent money, and they've been shite. You know, Tanaka's miles better than what Rocker was, miles better than what Tyler Adams won. These all cost, a lot more money than Tanaka did. And for me, if Solomon's, I'm sure I've heard somewhere around 10, 15 million. I might be wrong with that. But for me, unless Solomon's 30 plus, then it's a pipe dream. But if he isn't, just go get him done. He can play in Prem. He's class. But I'd have him and Rothwell. I'd have Rothwell as an option. I'd sign Rothwell on loan. Sorry, from his loan. I just sign him, and then you don't have to even worry about him midfield. You Gruev, Ampadu, Tanaka, Rothwell. You're done, aren't you, in centre at Park? For me, it's probably the only position I'd say you're done on. You'll need another winger probably if Solomon goes back, which I don't think we do sign Solomon, to be honest, but I would have him 100%. Adam, our XG conceded is 4, better than Burnley. And we've conceded 10 more goals, so overall we are giving less chances than them. Ooh, great insight there, Adam. Yeah, and I'll be having Adam on my channel a lot more coming up, so you can keep pulling those stats out of your ass, mate, because I ain't a stat man. But if you are, that is another tick in your box. And a tick in my box, I'll be happy with that. Tick in my box. I didn't say tickle my box. Don't be getting too excited. Bielsa's knee. I need to confess, just sub to the channel. Ooh, Bielsa's knee. It's all good. It's all good. Don't you worry. You don't have to confess anything, mate. It's fine. It's good to get things off your chest off. I hope you feel better for letting me know that. Much appreciated, mate. Thank you. Solomon in wing. Ramazani plays with that confidence at 10. We're likely today we'll take a shot outside the box. Yeah, I think Solomon likes to work in, but he's playing well. I'm saying, because Solomon playing 10, yeah, he could. He loves to come inside, but he's playing so well in his natural position. Don't change it. Ramazani shoots from outside box, tricky, skillful, direct, can see a pass. Surely they're all the attributes of a decent 10. He can't press as good as Aronson, maybe not, but Aronson can't finish and pass and shoot as good as Ramazani. So, does it matter? They've both got attributes that work in that role. And the best thing is, they're both different profiles as well. I think it's crazy to me that Ramazani hasn't played in 10. I think it's actually wild to say that he can't. I think it's mental that he hasn't, if I'm honest. It's mental. But reason why I've sort of stopped touching on it, I really haven't it on. You'll see me on Joe Show some of you 2 months ago. The debacle about Aronson, I was hammering home one of these wingers playing in 10. And I think it's crazy that, if you think they couldn't, but the odd time it's happened, the odd time, the 20 minutes off Nonto in odd game where Aronson's come off, and that is an odd game. The aggregate game where Aronson, where I think Nonto played there, they didn't look great, but we haven't seen it, for any length of time. We haven't seen a couple of games back-to-back over Ramazani or Nonto in 10. Nonto doesn't deserve that opportunity at a minute currently, but Ramazani probably does now. Bielsa's knee, please sub to the other channels in the chat if you don't mind. Yeah, please do. Yeah, I did, Danny. I did see the Japanese Whites video. With Ace, I was singing Altanaki with class, mate. Absolutely class. Logan, it's more effective off bench when teams are lagging. He can afford to have the extra time on the ball. Yeah, he can. I agree. You make some really good points, Logan, by the way. Bielsa's knee, the Burnley game sets the division. They win. It's all in the air. We win. There's a solid top 2 and next 2 exciting stuff. Yeah, there is. If we win that, and Sheffield United do their business, it looks like then you've got 2 starting to pull away then, doesn't it? At the minute, you've got a cluster of 4. If we can do Burnley and Sheffield United, it starts to become a 2. And I do think it's us and Sheffield United that go up, if I'm honest. But it's going to be interesting. And, part of me hopes Sunderland and Burnley keep doing the business, because I like jeopardy. I don't want it to be easy. I like jeopardy, and I want this team to go through a bit of adversity. I want this team to come through and really have to dig in and do something. I want Farker to earn his money. I want him to show his minerals. I want him to have to make tough calls. I want to see us go a goal behind and come back like we did at Hull, but then we let it go. I want to see us be pushed and see how far we can go, because when we go to the Premier League, it ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to be easy. I want to prepare for that. I want to go through motions. I want to lift that trophy come May and feel so good and so mint about it, because it weren't easy. No, it's ever easy for Leeds United. So the times I thought we were going to run away with league, why did I ever think that? When do we ever run away with anything? It never happens for us. And maybe it won't this season, but I firmly believe we'll get there. I just don't know how. Logan says, don't you believe Gruev slotted in well for Rothwell? Yeah, honestly, Logan, I'm a massive Gruev fan. But I'll be honest, I didn't see how we got back in this side. Strout gets injured. Ampadu goes back. Gruev's now first option off a bench for now. All of a sudden, he's back playing. Whenever Strout's out, you'll see Gruev play. I don't know if Ampadu partners Tanaka in midfield. I don't know how he gets back inside. He's a tidy player. He's not a world beater by any means, but you know what you get from Grow. He's just another Sam Biden in middle of the park. He's just steady Eddie, 7 out of 10. Don't give ball away, keeps it ticking over. And sometimes in a team you need that. Not everybody can goals and assists, not everybody can look flashy on ball. You need someone who just tick it over, keep possession, move it on, recycle, pass, go, recycle possession. And he's one of them, and he's really good at it. For his role, he's so effective. 8 players minimum. Ideal world 90. Yeah, maybe mate for Prem. So it's almost a full 11 you're on about, isn't it, mate? Banana set wrote up beautiful. Yeah, they did, mate. Got a goal, didn't he? 300k was going to be our goalkeeper. What's Danny saying here? Matty Buendia has played 50 minutes in total in 2 years after a cruciate ligament damage. Villa want full 70k. Wages, he's probably going to take 5 or 6 weeks to get up to speed. Yeah, I get your point. You know what it's for me, Danny? So let's say it takes 3 weeks to get up to speed, to get your sharpness back right. Another couple of weeks as well alongside that to build up your tactical nous, how the team plays, how Farker plays it. More importantly, the Farker side of stuff's taken care of. He knows exactly what Farker wants, so you're saving a few weeks there. The match sharpness can come back. That can come back very quickly. We've seen Ampadu come back in. We've seen players that we thought are going to take weeks and weeks. You've got someone like Byram who's now a Maverick. It's like Marvel have took over him and injected him with some sort of serum that he just plays beyond his capabilities for his biscuit body. It's unbelievable what some people can do. Is it out of the realms of possibility to say Buendia could come to Leeds, couple of weeks, be playing 20 minutes, and then be a full starter come mid-Feb, end of Feb? No. And then you get all March, April and all May in playing. You might get 15 games out of Buendia. I'd bite your hand off for that, mate. I really wouldn't. 70 grand a week. What? If you haven't got to pay for him, yeah? 7, 14, 21, 28, $500,000 a month over 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I'd give Villa 3 million now if I get to see Buendia for the next 5 months. Yeah, I would. Or you can go buy a 10 for 15, 20 million if you want to see, but Buendia, yeah, I would. I'd take the risk. Honestly, I would. Look what happened with JKA stuff, the med worst investments. Like, for me, that ain't that bad. 70 grand sounds wild, but if you're not going to pay no money for him, there might be a little loan fee, £1 million. I don't know what it'll be, but it's not my money. Just go do it. Because for me, if you get 10 games out of Buendia, he wins you points in those 10 games that you wouldn't have won without him, for me, in my opinion. Buendia's problem is I think he's better than he actually is. I don't know, Lord. I really don't. I think he's really good at this level. At this level. Richard, I've heard we ain't looking at a 10. People just assume we are. Well, I've heard we are looking. Honestly, I think Buendia comes in. That's all I'm going to say. I think Buendia comes in. I reckon our squad is the best you could get at Champs squad in 2025. Better players they take, like we had last year. You can only be as good in this league when you are right now. Yeah, no, true. I definitely believe our team is the best in the league currently. I think some of our players you would have never seen in this division in years gone by, and you may never see, some of these players again going forward, at this level. I think because we're Leeds United, we've got that pull, haven't we, now? And we definitely lucky to have, 4 or 5 of these players are playing at a level too low. At least 4 or 5 of these players, way too low for their ability. When if we do buy a player during the transfer market, we need one good enough to play in the Premiership. Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? You can't buy someone now, like we did the Gilavogi thing, the talk of him going back already, he came and did a job, but you can't buy someone now with a view of them not being good enough in 6 months' time. They've got to be able to do both, and that's such a difficult balance to do. Such a difficult thing to do, unless you do just get a dead loan, and that's all they're coming just to do a job. But anyone you get, really, you want to see progression in. You don't want to come in and spend all that effort, money and time on someone to just only be here for such a short space of time. It needs to be someone who's going to have an impact now and later down the line, which makes January such an hard window. I agree with. Going up, we need to stay up that first year. The second, keep the strength in the squad. If we keep doing that year over year, we end up being like Forest, but we would need to maintain it. Yeah, you do. You've got to build you've got to get thicken your squad out over. You only get that with years and years of being in there. We were there 3 years, we dropped out, but you can see from being in the Prem for 3 years and we lost loads of players, we still had a decent core group. We had a thick group, people like Somerville who weren't, big hitters in the Prem. They were really good Championship level players, and we saw a lot of that. And that's because we were in Prem for 3 years. If we'd have never met Prem, that crop would have never really come through, and it wouldn't have been as as good as we are now. Obviously, those 3 years in Prem did us massive, massive favours coming down, and hopefully next time it won't be 3 years. It'll be many, many, many more. Hopefully, forever. Yeah, forgot Ben White loan. He was probably our best loan. Yeah, I think Ben White was the best one we've had. Rodon was a top quality loan signing too, yeah, and we got him permanently. Rodon was class, and he's improved this year. Started off really wobbly early on. We had actually quite good at loans, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, Eddie Nketiah seemed a good loan at times, didn't he? He just wasn't getting played. Couple of Ramsdale ones in there. I'm gonna skip. Ramazani's goal comes in the number 10 position. Yeah, well, he wanted a goal to score from out wide as such, wasn't it? Like I say, he went an edge area, kept the ball so well, for such a small lad, really physical. He's got big defenders, big players around him. His close control's phenomenal, what a finish. That's what you get from me. You're not going to get that from Aronson, And for me, I want a 10 who can shoot from outside box. I want a 10 who looks like he can score any time he's in and around that box. I don't ever get that from Aronson. He's just a totally different. He's a different profile to what I like in a 10. In 10, I don't even want my 10 to think back. I don't even want my 10 to think back, because I know it's a different game and I know you need them to do everything, and the will, that's the job. But I just want a flair play. I just want someone who I go, how much is it to take it? 50 quid? Yeah, that's there to see him. That's what Brent would give me. That's what I want as a fan. But that's not for everyone. Bielsa's chance says no chance we are winning the league at a canter. That was just Joe making up stuff. 3 Prem teams came down, never going to win by a mile, still can win the league. Yeah, I don't know about making up stuff. I think Joe firmly believes that, and I did believe that earlier in the season. A few of our away wobbles has sort of, left me feeling different. But yeah, I think he firmly believes it, and I think he still believes it. If we get, especially if we sign 1 or 2 in January, he'll be back saying that 100%. He wanted to reevaluate. He said last night after January and see, but he believes that. And let's be fair, I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility, because 3 sides come down, but Luton are having a terrible season. And Burnley and Sheffield United, they came down, but they haven't got better squads than us. But I know what you mean. 3 come down. We've been down this our 2nd year now. So how can we say we should win it by an account? Surely in that more seasons, if you stay down there and you're in your 2nd year, you're probably the 4th best side in that league. But we know it was a little bit unbalanced, really, because we are better than Luton as squad. It's better than Sheffield United. It's arguably as good, if not better, than Burnley. Or maybe very similar, but I think we've got a couple of really star quality players there in Ramazani and Solomon. Andy, well, all right, mate. Time to go get food. It's dinner time over here in the States. Thank you for watching, Andy. Drop us a message if you ever want to have a chat about Leeds. Thank you so much for tuning in. You said you'd be here, and you are here. Michael Smith, we are 5 hours in the future in England. Wilco White's night. Oh, yeah. Cheers, mate. I've almost caught up. I've heard of a South American Sanchez 6 million. Banded about similar profile and route to Rafinha. Oof, imagine if we stumble on another one of them. Bielsa's knee gonna bounce. Peace all. Thanks for subbing as well this time, Bielsa's knee. Much appreciated. Take care and have a good one. Lord says bye. And it could take years to build a competent starting 11. It could, but while we're on topic, and I've finally got to the last comment, I'm happy with that. I make a conscious effort to try and get everyone's comment on there, so it just takes a while sometimes. But yeah, I would say, going through, I'm going to fill in the gaps, but I'm going to say Strout's competent to play. I'm going to stick my neck on line and say Rodon is, but you need another centre half, probably to maybe replace Rodon or push Rodon in Prem. But Strout starts. I'm going to Strout and Rodon, and Bogle's right back, no matter what anyone thinks. He is starting at right back, and we'll see if he's good enough. I think Tanaka and Ampadu are fine in midfield. So for me, that's 5 straight up there who'll start. After that, it's hard because I think James is class. Solomon's class being our player technically. So if you take him out for now, Ramazani and James as our wingers in Prem, I'd be happy with that, but people would say they wouldn't be. But if I say them 2, that's 7. I'm calling out of starting 11. So I'm only saying there we only need 4 starters for Prem. But then obviously I want another 3 or 4 on bench as well. But it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. 1 for 10 from outright promotion. Now, wow, we're odds on, aren't we? We should be. And bookies, they get it wrong from time to time, but very rarely do they get it wrong. They don't stick the neck on line, do they? And get it wrong too very often. So we are front runners. We should be. Every the eye test, every stat tells you we are the best side in the division. we technically weren't before we kicked the football today. But yeah, it's just how tight is it going to be? Everybody thinks, everyone I speak to who isn't a Leeds fan, they all say we're going to go up. It's only Leeds fans who doubt it, and I understand why. Dan James is what, mate? Not good enough, or Dan James would start? I think Dan James probably, if he maintains his form, he starts in Prem. But I've always had Dan James down in my head as a bench player in Prem, and what a bench player he is. But it's hard because, like I said, I genuinely probably would say there's about 7 players there who probably are stars in Prem, which sounds a bit wild to some of your takes. But I do think we need 7 or 8 indoor. But yeah, I do think there's a good base there, maybe 6 or 7 who probably could start. But there's definitely left back, goalkeeper, 9 and 10. When you think you want a brand new 9 and 10 for Prem, they've got to hit ground running. You've got to get that right because they're expensive players. They are expensive players. And if you get one of them wrong or both of them wrong, you're up shit creek without a paddle because it's a lot of money you've spent there. That's my worry. That's my worry. There's 2 key areas, and if you get them wrong, you're in for a difficult season, and you've potentially thrown some money down drain, and we've done that before. I mean, look at the Rodrigo. I think he came good towards the back end, but he never really fulfilled, the potential, I promise, of putting that much money into a player like that. We never felt like we got it back from me, even though he looked good in spells. Sometimes he was his best player. Technically, a really good player, Rodrigo, but we got it wrong for me with that one. Richard, we need a lot of work in this summer if we go. We do, pal, 100%. DJ was doomed in the Prem. Bielsa kept playing him as a 9 and Marsh didn't like him. Yeah, it was. Difference this time is he's got a manager that trusts him, a manager that loves him, a fan base that loves him. I think he's definitely good enough. And there aren't many people like him. I definitely think off the bench he's unreal. But best thing about being in Prem is you'd imagine little old Leeds United going to some of these Prem boys. You'd imagine they're going to play against us. So there's always going to be him behind. So I think Dan James now, he's got a new bit of confidence and a bit more arrogance about him, and he plays with his chin up and his chest out, and he plays football. I've seen him before, and he's quite timid. Not now. For me, he plays like the man. We always talk about, he should be the man now. Somerville's not there. For me, Dan James plays like he's the man, and I love that about him. And he is the man. Solomon's giving him a run for his money. They're both the man, maybe, but I love how Dan James, he just don't give a shit, and he just goes for it. And not many players like Dan James about. And we're lucky to have him. For how we've treated him, lucky to have him. I like wingers to play like Dan James. Good to see them running down the wing with speed. Yeah, it is, mate. It is. Even people who aren't as quick as Dan James, just an out-and-out winger that goes past people and gets in behind a class. The fact that he's just like bleeding roadrunner just makes it even better. Danny says, smash a like and subscribe, please. Yeah, please subscribe. I'm pushing 1,000 subscribers now, which it would be unbelievable. Thanks so much for everyone's support. I've got a really good community on here now. I come on and I do about an hour and a half and I chat, and I've always got 40, 50 people in here watching now, and it's a massive part of my life, and I absolutely love all support. Thank you. Richard Hogan, Bielsa got Rodrigo wrong. Should have played him in the 9 instead of Bamford. Kept playing him in midfield as part of a 1-4-1-4-1. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got it wrong. I don't think. A bit like Pirro at times. I don't feel like we signed him as a statement signing. He was our statement signing for Prem, and he never fit a system. We never played him in the right role. For me, it just didn't work, and I felt like that with Pirro last season. Statement signing, a lot of money relative to the division we were playing in. Lockie, Adrian, I always forget his name. Sounds bad, that, doesn't it? But Lockie said, didn't he, that he wouldn't fit our system. Pirro, he's worked really hard to get into our system now, and I think he's a top player now for us. As his games where he drifts in and out, but probably isn't the man. Farker would have picked potentially to play. Whether he signed him or not, I don't know. Andrea, that's the one. I don't know why we're trying to say Adrian, but yeah, Andrea and Lockie said Pirro wasn't the man to speed a hard attack. Thank you, Funky Jower. Thank you so much, mate. Much appreciated. But sometimes you've got to make a statement signing. We did that with Rodrigo, and he never really suited it, just like Pirro didn't last season. Luckily now, he's muscled his way into a role that suits him, and he is effective, and that's the word, effective. It took Rodrigo a while to become effective. It really did. James is our only real winger, the other 3 inside forwards. Yeah, hence why a lot of us say they could probably play in 10. But yeah, he is our out-and-out winger, which is probably why he's getting a lot of game time. Because, out on left, you've got Solomon cutting in, a little bit of a different player, like you say, and then you've got James. So you've got, like, 2 different profiles on the pitch on opposite sides, and they can rotate and they can swap sides, which they do in game, and it just offers something different. And him and Bogle on right hand side are just electric, absolutely electric. But yeah, like I say, I thought the game today, it was It were decent. It were decent. Like a few people said, third gear. Didn't have to push the ball out really. Got through it. Solomon, brilliant goal. Great ball. Great run by Amundsen. Nice finish. Ramazani, unreal finish. Unreal player. And Tanaka, nice little touch. Showed Bamford and Joseph how to do that little flick, didn't he? Can I just say with Tanaka, what are the frailties of Leeds United going forward? Corners. They were not great today. Shaky defended him. Not the best delivery by Rothwell. But we know Rothwell, in terms of our corners, in terms of our set pieces, he's one of the best we've had in a while. Not too asked about that. It'll come as corners. I think it's always been a worry. It's not we don't know. Are we going to get better? And probably not. It is what it is. But when you look at not scoring from midfield, it's a massive. It just hampers us so much that you're not getting no goals from midfield. All of a sudden, Tanaka's got one at Hull. Next league game gets one today. 2-2 for Tanaka. Really good finish, inbox. I mean, look at that. We were so used to as midfielders playing so deep. You've got Tanaka practically, 2 meters off a goal line, stood on last defender, back heel. I know it's at a corner. I know it's not, but I know it's come from a corner, so he's in the box. I couldn't give a shit. Tanaka, what furthest man forward in that moment, and he back heels it into goal. Scores a worldie against Hull. Finally, you've got Gruev coming on, taking a free kick. Yeah, it went wide, it went over. But it's just, I feel like we've got threats now from midfield, which I haven't felt for 18 months. I haven't felt it for 18 months. Well, even longer, because in Prem we had apart from Clicky, it's been a while. It's been a while now. All of a sudden, I look like we've got, we've got goals from your fullbacks, your wingers, but that midfield, we haven't seen it for a while, and all of a sudden, you feel like we've got someone capable now of impacting the game in terms of stats, G&A from that role, and it's brilliant to see. And now we've got midfielders scoring goals. It's just another, something else for an opponent to worry about, something they didn't have to worry about last year. Kamara, we're never going to shoot an edge area. We're always going to turn and find a pass. Gruev very rarely did. Early Gruev this season was shooting. Ampadu, not the best at shooting, but now you've got someone like Tanaka. Rothwell can do it. We haven't seen it yet at Leeds, really. I don't think he scored Rothwell, but we've seen it at Southampton. We've got players capable now of scoring from outside box. Ramazani, his talent pool's massive. It's just, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. I want us to bring a couple of players in this window, and I think we do. Neck on line, I think we get Buendia, and I think we get a defender. We'll have to see who it is. And this is Dan James has mixed it with the Leeds, Man United and Fulham in the Premier League, so he's potentially better now. Yeah, I agree. He's gone through some adversity as Dan James, mate, and he's come out of it a better player. Matthew, back to work tomorrow. I am, mate. I'm back tomorrow. I'm up at about 5:30, so I am going to wrap it up here. Say me goodbyes. I always look out for Sinisterra. He's disappeared off the face of this. Yeah, I'll tell you what, when we signed Sinisterra, few times I've seen him play, which I'm sure a lot of you agreed, that start of last season, he looked class. And if he'd have stayed, don't forget, he went on deadline day. If he'd have stayed, you'd have probably never seen the Somerville we saw. You'd have probably never seen it. You'd have never seen Somerville's talent last season, because Sinisterra would have tore that division up last season. But it is what it is. People move on. Side before self. We're Leeds United before anyone. These things happen, don't they, Andy? But yeah, I don't know where he is now. He was at Bournemouth. God knows if he's playing. God knows if he's still there. He's probably sat in a physio room somewhere like he was at Leeds United for 50% of his time. But yeah, probably, mate. If it's Sinisterra said we're going to, probably. But yeah, I'm going to say good night there. I'll say it again. Anybody who's watching it, I am sponsored by O'Reilly's Autographs. I should have mentioned it last night on that stream with Joe, really, but I didn't. Please check his stuff out. All hand-signed memorabilia of Leeds United and other stuff as well. So check him out on Instagram. That's O'Reilly's Autographs. Sponsored by him till the end of this month, end of January, the most miserable month ever. Hopefully more games like today. I'm bouncing going into work tomorrow, Danny. I'm back to it tomorrow, but it is what it is. 3 points, 3 goals. I'm happy. Right, Matty and all. Thank you so much for your support. Stick a like on your way out, please. If you haven't, it's free. Just smash that thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Much appreciated. Got a few little changes coming to the channel, a few little bits I'm tweaking, so I'll keep you up to date. And I'll see you a couple of times this week. We've got a game midweek as well. So it never stops. Yeah, always busy. But thank you so much for tuning in. Love you, Leeds. You know that. Take care. Have a good start to your week. Miserable Monday, but have a good one. Take care, guys. Thank you.